Polarity. We see the positive pole of a compass needle pointing toward the negative pole of a magnet, and the negative pole of the magnet pointing toward the positive pole. This evidence is one of the bases of our conclusion. That is what our eyes see. What actually is happening is that they are avoiding each other's unbalanced condition to seek balance through each other. Opposite poles get as far away from each other as they can, until their opposition is voided by balance in their fulcrum and they cease to be. When the positive pole of a magnet is brought into contact with the negative pole of another magnet, that effect which we think of as attraction is one of avoidance. It is a cessation of opposition or power to manifest anything. Polarity utterly ceases at that point, and each opposite extends to each opposite end, each getting away from the other and through the other spirally as fast as it can. If opposite poles attracted each other, they would be together in the middle of a magnet instead of at its ends. Matter neither attracts nor repels other matter. Matter is powerless to attract. Unbalanced conditions in matter seek balanced ones. All matter is motion constantly seeking rest. This it can find only by balancing its condition with matter similarly conditioned, by voiding the tensions of its sexed condition. That alone is the cause of motion and the reason for its continuance or discontinuance. All matter is motion. All matter in motion seeks rest. This is a universe of one thing. All matter which is electrically separated from that oneness seeks it. This is a fundamental principle and underlying desire of all creation. It is as true of humans and their emotions as it is of matter. We again repeat that electricity is a division of the one light into two extensions of that light projected through each other, each becoming the other alternatively. The one light is a pressureless and sexless condition. The two lights which are extended from the one are opposed pressures and opposed sexed conditions. Thus there are but two conditions of matter, either expanding from stillness or contracting toward stillness. Each condition arises from the other. The instant it becomes its own opposite, it gets as far away from that opposite as is necessary to find balance in a like condition. It seeks its like condition to find rest in a balanced condition, and not because the matter of it is attracted by the matter it seeks. A log floating downstream is seeking a balanced condition and is not being attracted by the dam or by other logs. These opposites represent the compression-extension father-mother principle, which integrates light into solids and disintegrates it into vapors and gases. All moving masses are unbalanced. To say that these opposites attract each other is equivalent to saying that north attracts south, that inward attracts outward, that wetness attracts dryness, or that darkness attracts incandescence. Water, for example, is a compressed condition. When water vaporizes, it expands into its own opposite condition. It then seeks rest in clouds of like condition. When it thus finds rest in a balanced condition, its motion ceases and its opposition also ceases. Elusive evidence. Another effect of motion, which has misled the senses into believing that opposites attract, is that hot air is said to rise toward cold, and cold air to descend toward heat. That is not what is happening, for like seeks like. Cooling air is expanding and rising toward cold, and heating air is contracting and falling toward heat. Negative oxygen bubbles gather at the positive pole of a charging electric battery, and positive hydrogen bubbles gather at the negative pole. What is actually happening is that the positive pole is taking the positive condition out of the water, leaving the negative oxygen as residue. The negative pole is likewise taking the negative condition out of the water, leaving the positive hydrogen as residue. Again, like seeks like. The outstanding demonstration of the principle of like conditions seeking like is in the elements of matter. If opposites attracted opposites, according to present concepts, it would be impossible to gather together 1 ounce of the same elements. All elements seek their kind. If any chemical decomposition of compounded mixtures, in any chemical decomposition of compounded mixtures, each element seeks and finds similarly conditioned elements. Nature's gyroscopic principle does this automatically. Every element has its own gyroscopic relation to the axis and amplitude of its wave. Each seeks that relation of pressure and moved until it finds itself in the orbit of its own gyroscopic plane of pressure. Behold in me the light of all knowing. In light is all ideal of knowing. In divided light of me, the thinking of my knowing is recorded in moving imaged forms of my imagining, which reflect each divided one into its opposed one to manifest my knowing. Each mirrors light of each to the other one to manifest my knowing through their mirrorings. Know thou that moving things move not, their moving is but seeming. Know thou that also that moving things alone sense moving things, and know them not, for moving things have naught in them but their seeming moving. Moving light of my thinkings, mirrorings, is my universe of image, building in lights of my imagining. These have no being, for they are not me, I alone have being. Next chapter, light. Light cannot be seen, it can only be known. Light is still. The sense of sight cannot respond to stillness. That which the eyes feel and believe to be light is but wave motion, simulating the ideal of light. Like all things else in this electric wave universe, the ideal of light cannot be produced. Electric waves simulate ideal only, they do not become ideal. When man sees the light of the sun, he believes that he is actually seeing light. When the nerves of his eyes are but feeling the intense, rapid, short-wave vibrations of the kind of wave motion which he senses as incandescence. The intensely vibrant electric current mirrored into the senses of the eyes fairly burns them. They cannot stand that high rate of vibration. The eyes would be destroyed by such a vibration, but light would not be the cause of the destruction. Fast motion, simulating light would be the cause. It would be like sending a high-voltage electric current over a wire so fine that the current would burn it out. Man likewise cannot see darkness. The nerves of his eyes, which sense motion, slow down to a rate of vibration which he can no longer feel. Man is so accustomed to the idea that he actually sees light in various intensities, illuminating various substances to greater or lesser degree, that it is difficult for him to realize that his own senses are but acting as mirrors to reflect various intensities of wave motion. But that is all that is happening. Every electrically conditioned thing in nature reflects the vibrations of every other thing, to fulfill its desire, to synchronize its vibrations with every other thing. All matter is the motion of light. All motion is expressed in waves. All light waves are mirrors, which reflect each other's condition unto the furthermost star. This is an electrically conditioned wave universe. All wave conditions are forever seeking oneness. For this reason, all sensation responds to all other sensation.